Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Miss Judy.
Hey, how are you?
Welcome, welcome. It's our first meeting of the new year.
It is, it is.
We've been officially doing this for a year now.
That's kind of weird.
It's it's very weird because so much has happened this year,
Really, it seems like it's longer than that to me, but
and
then
we've stuck
then
to
when
it
I think
though.
it's
I'm
a,
surprised
a
we found
year,
the space and the time to do it.
yeah, juggling both of our
And,
crazy
yeah, and then
schedules.
there's those that have gone into the great vortex that we did and didn't get recorded that are out there spinning in space somewhere.
That's true.
We've stayed the course, and here we are again.
And here we are.
Oh, and it was just a week ago we were together, so it's still a little bit fresh. It hasn't totally left my memory of this book that we're reading through on the trilogy, The Singer. The first one in the trilogy is called The Singer, and the last story we read was when the they call the singer of the troubadour was killed on the great machine of death or whatever it's called. And the earth hater was rejoicing.
Yes, he
He
is.
was rejoicing in his great victory.
Yes.
And it says, let's see, here's the last part of it. I'm just going to read this last to set it up for you to read what you're going to
Absolutely.
read today. So the earth hater says, look at how he dies. Cry, creator, cry. This is my day to stand upon the breast of God and claim my victory over love. You lost the gamble. In but an hour, your lover will be pulped upon the gallows. Did you tell him when his fingers formed the world that he would die on Terra, groaning with his hands crushed and whimpering in my great machine? He laughed and turned to look again upon the troubadour. Now who will sing the Father Spirit's song? He asked the dying man. The singer seemed to rally in his suffering. From somewhere far beyond himself, he drew a final surge of strength and sang the final verse again.
Yes.
And now
Yes.
the great revelation has begun. Earthmaker and his troubadour are one. He saw the bigger picture. He sang, and then his lips fell silently apart, and his head slumped forward on his chest. The Father Spirit wept. The fog swirled in bleak and utter numbness. Existence braved. The stones bled. The shrine of older life collapsed in rubble, and Terra shuddered in her awful cry. Earth shuddered in her awful cry. So that's where we left it. It's not the end of the story. So
Absolutely.
take it away, Miss Judy. Take it away. She on speaker.
We are on. You're sure we're on?
We're we're on. Yes.
Okay. Decision is the key to destiny. This is really something right
It is.
here. God, can you be merciful and send me off to hell and lock me in forever? No, Pilgrim, I will not send you there. But if you chose to go there, I could never lock you out.
Mm,
Decisions, choices.
mhm. Yep.
Wowza.
Yep.
The hater cringed to hear the sound he feared above all else. The doorway of the world stood open, and he felt the giant key that dangled from his belt. and he wished to gloat a little longer in his victory, but left the silent gallows where the singer was as dead as the rotting beams of the machine. You know, scripture says that Satan is the prince of the power of the air. God had, Brother Bowden used to say, and I agree with this theology, that God had given Satan, he's given him some leeway on earth. He's limited, just like he was with Job. But he has the keys to the doorway on his hand. He reached the threshold of eternity and found the doorway of the worlds not only open, but clearly ripped away. And he strained to hear the everlasting well, the eternal dying which he loved. But all was silent. And then he heard the song. No, he cried, give me back the door and key, for this is my domain. And he felt again and found the great key at his waist had disappeared. The victor done took the key. Where's the key? Where's the key? The hater cried. But all the while the hater knew each man on Terra had a key. And never could they come into the canyon of the damned unless they chose to do so. To live there, men would have to reject the song. It was a song that only 4 on Terra knew, but it would grow until the world could sing it. So I started thinking, only 4 on Terra knew.
Yeah.
His mother, the friendship woman, the little girl, and the guy that they hung on the wall. But it would grow until the world could sing it. Earthmaker, this day was not the victory I had thought, the world hater cried. We both have lost. You have lost your son, and I have lost my kingdom. It was a hollow loss. Full well the hater knew the canyon of the damned would never be as large as he hoped. He steeled himself for the battle out ahead. You hear that? There's still a battle. And we'd be in that battle. He would have to fight the song. He would fight with every weapon in his arsenal of hate. But he knew that he would lose. And he knew that when the course of time was done, the door would be put back upon the canyon of the damned. And he would be locked in with all the discord of the universe. And he would suffer with all of those he had taught to hate the song or consciously ignore it. And he himself would be a prisoner of the hate he spread on Terra. And when the doorway of the worlds was locked the final time, he himself would be inside the canyon of the damned. And only God would have the key. Oh, that's it, baby.
That's it. Keep going.
So we want to start the next chapter, right?
Chapter 22.
When God loses his beloved, habeas corpus is a weak and futile law. But earthlings never seem to learn that it is futile to dredge the graveyards for messiahs. No matter how intently you may man the cables, the grappling hooks will always come up empty. There ain't no Messiah in the grave. In the morning, the wreckage of the great machine lay in splintered beams beneath the wall. It had fallen in the night, and the great iron pinions that held it to the ancient stones had given way. The whole affair had been so wrapped in mist that none had seen it fall. But all had heard the roar and crash of its collapse. The city had not slept. Common guilt had kept them thinking of the man who died above them and the holiday that they had passed in emptiness. And when they had tried to sleep, the image of the singer etched itself upon the darkness of the night. They felt unspoken shame in merely being sons and grandsons of the masons and carpenters who had made the great machine in centuries long ago. When Tara shuddered in the light, the old machine had torn itself away and splintered into a single heap of rotted wood and rusted iron. And many in the peaceless night remarked that it was odd the singer and the old machine should die in the self same moment. Shortly after daybreak, the wreckage lay behind a civil barricade, and the crew of laborers was sent to clear the chaos from the streets. And a group of men lifted the heavy beams. Ox-driven sleds took them well beyond the city gates. Every workman feared that he might be the one to come upon the mangled body of the singer who now lay buried in the last remains of the machine. The heavy transport of debris lasted into early afternoon. A workman finally spied the giant tension cable that drew the heavy chains, and he feared to see the mutilation he would find beneath the tangled cables and the ropes. But when he had pulled the final chains away, the manacles were empty. And where the singer should have been, there lay only a key. A giant key forged from a metal never mined on earth. And when the workman stooped to pick it up, he found that it was broken. It was clear that whatever door it might have fit would never see its use again. That nameless door would remain forever locked or open. For a moment, the workman wondered which. Open, he thought. Yes, definitely open. He pondered the great key. Was it of any consequence? Should he report it to the great musician? But he finally threw the broken key in a passing ox cart filled with wreckage, shuddered his shoulders, and set out to find the overseer. At length he found the foreman sent to direct the cleanup operation at the wall. Tell the great musician, he said, there is no body in the wreckage, and the manacles are empty.
Okay, let's do stop for a minute. There was something that really caught my eye here. Let me put this back on gallery view. Oh, where was it? Oh, that it was odd that the singer and the old machine should die at the self same moment. What is your take on that?
Well, they used that machine was a machine of killing, of death,
Yeah.
and uh, it seems like to me he's making a comparison of when Jesus died, those machines that would want to crucify us
Mhm.
have crumbled because Jesus paid my debt too.
Mhm.
So it's gone, baby. It's gone.
Mhm. Yeah. It makes me
It
wonder if
died.
it's actually even representing death itself.
Could be.
Yeah, like death. He died and death died at the same time because death no
Right.
longer has hold on us who believe, right?
Right. Right.
It doesn't
Right.
have any power. Now we have eternal life. Death is
We do.
abolished. So that's pretty cool. I love the way he talks about this. It's very poetic, right?
Yeah.
Um,
See, as an English teacher, this just appeals to me.
mhm. Yeah, because you have to actually stop and think. You have to stop and think about it.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm fixing to get on a tangent.
Okay. It's
It's what's wrong with education today. Kids can't think their way out of a white paper bag. We had to read stuff like this and figure out what it was saying and get tested on it. Not a book this, but literature,
mhm.
poetry.
Right, right, right. I never understood poetry well. I'm learning to love and appreciate it more. But because I think it's so subjective, you know, and
Exactly.
that's
Exactly.
that
That's the cool part
that's the
about it.
beauty of it, really. But
Yeah,
for me, who like things black and white, it's like, okay, this doesn't
I
make
got
sense.
you.
And how can you say it means that? And, what's the author's meaning? But the author many times in poetry intends for it to have multiple meanings.
Absolutely.
Take your
For
pick.
discussion and
Right.
for you to think,
Thought,
work your way through it.
thought provoking, right?
Yeah.
Words. So that's one of the places where it's really like, okay, you got to stop and think, what died with him at the same time because of his
Yeah.
death. There's another
Yeah.
part in here. I loved how they were afraid they were going to uncover him. You talked about the shame and the guilt that had plagued them all night. Now they're going through the debris but the other thing was they're carting it outside. They're carting it
Outside the
away.
city.
Where have we heard that
Yeah.
before?
Yeah. Out, that's where he was crucified,
Well,
outside the city.
but
I
it was the
remember
Old
that.
Testament scapegoat that took
That's
the
true. The
sins
scape. Yeah.
had to be taken outside
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
city. So I saw a parallel there.
Right.
Yeah, and then this place here it says this key. It was clear that whatever door it might fit would never see its use again. This nameless door would remain forever locked or open. And he wondered, would it be locked or open? It's open. He thought, yes, definitely open. And I'm like, what door was unlocked? What door was unlocked when he died?
I would think that it was what he referred to earlier. It's that door of the damned, the canyon of the damned has been open. Now, eventually, God will close it forever.
Right.
So I'm not sure. I don't know.
See, my thought went immediately to the temple and the veil being torn in two,
Yeah.
because that was a door
Yes.
that
It's
kept us
open.
from the presence of God, right?
One of the greatest. I've never gotten over that picture right there. The veil's torn in half. I can step into the presence of God.
That is
Unbelievable.
an opening that men had no access to except for the high priest once a year. And now it's like, not just can you come in, but you can come in and you can have intimate relationship with this God who has been, you have been held back from all these years, thousands of years. Um,
Right.
So there's another opening that it reminded me of. So good. And then it's like, tell the grand musician there's nobody in the wreckage and the manacles are empty. Quickly now, go tell them. Quickly now.
Yes.
Beautiful. And yeah, I love it. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll stop there for this particular week's reading, and then we're going to continue next week's. Right now, I'm going to stop.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
say goodbye.
Bye,
We'll
y'all.
see y'all next week or 2 weeks from now, whenever I get it posted, and then we'll have the next one.